Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. We're going to do a frog painting today on this rock. If you bought our Etsy rock painting kit, you have everything you need. If you didn't, you're going to need some acrylic paint, a rock of course, some water. Actually, everybody has to get themselves some water just to clean your brushes off. A palette if you want to mix up some different colors that don't come with your kit, and also a clear finish top coat for your rock. Mod Podge works really well. Liquitex also makes an acrylic gloss varnish, which is great. But if you bought the kit, you already have everything you need. So let's get started on this little frog. We are going to start with the pointy brush you got in your kit. And if you want to go ahead and open your colors, we're going to need yellow, green, white, and black. And you can decide how you want to put him on the rock. First, we're going to make his body. So we're going to make a circle first, kind of a chubby oval, to be honest. Okay, you can paint him in. And you can make this as big as you want. If you want to go bigger than I just went, you could go bigger. You want to go smaller. I once had somebody who took all the rocks from their kit and they did a different size frog on each rock. And then they labeled it, they personalized it with a name of each family member. So the big rock was the daddy rock, of course. And then after they had a family of frogs, they gave it to their mom for Mother's Day, and she loved it and put her frog family in the garden. It was really cute. So you could do that, just an idea. Okay, so once you have the circle, the oval, really, as fat as you want, then we are going to do his legs. And we're going to start with just making 2 teardrops down here. Just going to do a nice teardrop shape on this side. And a teardrop shape over here on this side. I'll fix this one up a bit. Okay, after you have your 2 teardrops, I'm going to make his eyes. So we're going to come up to the top. You're just going to do 2 half circles for his eyes. A little more paint. You can use your acrylic markers on this, or you could use paint. You could use a combination of both. Just make sure that it's dry. So if you're going to use the markers for a couple of steps, make sure all the paint steps are dry first, then use the markers, or vice versa. All right, now we're going to work on his feet down here. We're just going to do one line coming out, and then almost like you're going to make a triangle, you're going to do another line. But instead of connecting your triangle, do a 3rd line down the center. And this actually makes the frog's toes. See, that's his back hind legs. You can do the same thing over here. Do 1 line down and another line like you're going to make a triangle. But instead of connecting that triangle, 3rd line in the middle. There goes little frog feet. And then I'm going to make the front legs. These have to be smaller. Just come down with two little legs. And then on an angle, you're just going to give him some little toes. Just an angled line over here. Oh. I'm going to thicken up his thigh. So you could do whatever you want. So now we have his body, right? Go ahead and clean off your brush because we are done with the green, unless you want to give him another layer. Now we're going to put some white on our brush, and we're just going to make circles in his eyes. Just right inside that green area you did, you're just going to make 2 circles. Clean off that brush again. Make sure it's nice and dry. You don't want to have too much water in your paint. Make sure that's good. And now, if your green is dry, it doesn't take that long to dry, but if you did a thicker layer, you might have to wait a couple minutes before you do this next part. But if your green is good, go ahead, use the yellow, and we're going to give him a big smile. You can go ahead and do another coat on that, another layer. So he's got a nice bright smile. Because of course we want to make a happy frog. And then clean your brush again. Make sure it's super dry because this is the hardest part of the whole frog. With the very tip of your paintbrush, you're going to dip it in black paint. Or you could use your acrylic marker for this part. And in the middle of the white circle, you're just going to give him 1 dot. So he has an eye. Just 1 gentle dot. And now you have your adorable frog. You're going to let him dry. If you put him outside, if it's a sunny day, he'll be dry in about an hour or so. If you want to wait overnight, you can let him dry overnight. Our next step, our final step, you could personalize it if you want. You could sign your name. You could give him a name, whatever you want to do. But your last step is you're going to take the clear varnish once it's all dry. And you're going to take your thicker paintbrush for that. And you're just going to take the varnish that you have from your kit. And you're going to dip in. And you're going to completely cover it with your clear. Remember, he's got to be all dry. I'm not going to completely cover him yet because he's not dry, but I'm going to give you an idea of what you do. You're just going to completely cover him up. And then after you do the first coat, wait a couple minutes. Let the first coat get a bit of a dry. And then you're going to come in with a second coat of gloss all over this whole thing. You can get the rock part that's not painted, doesn't matter. Just make sure your artwork is totally painted. The white is totally clear coated. This way it protects him when he's outside in the rain or on your porch or in your garden, and he'll stay clear and shiny forever. And that's it. Now you have your frog.